Hi, it's Cornelia for the Mobile App Challenge. I'm here today to talk to you about your app and making it real for other people. I'm sure right now in your mind you've got this idea for this fabulous app and it makes complete sense to you, and there's a part of you that believes it's going to make sense to everyone else. So right now in this phase, the app specification exercise phase, what we're trying to do is to kind of get that idea out from your head and onto a piece of paper so that someone can react to it. The way in which you name things, the way in which you might be thinking that the screens are going to work, may, again, make sense to you, but may not make sense to a whole bunch of other people. So we want to make sure that you get that information as soon as possible so that you can adapt your app and so that what gets built is really relevant and a good execution of your idea. So this app specification exercise is actually 3 videos. This video is going to cover ideation and functional specification. The second one is going to cover paper prototyping your app. And then the third one is going to handle user testing with your prototype. So let's get started. Hey, congratulations. You already finished with your ideation. Since you've already kind of submitted your idea for an app, you've gone through these questions. Well, first of all, maybe you just already had an idea for an app. Or maybe in your line of work, you saw some problem over and over again, and that's where your app's coming from. Or, more likely, something really annoys you, and you want to make an app that addresses that situation. The example that I have is that I keep losing my cats. And I want to get a bunch of people, I want a way to get a bunch of people to look for them because it's hard work. So that's my idea, my fantastic idea. I've already got a name for my app. It's called Cat Finder. So where do I go from here? I've got this idea, but I know there's kind of a couple of steps before I can actually have a visual representation of my app that I can show to other people. So the first step is a functional specification, or spec for short. What we're talking about here is what does this app need to do fundamentally? What must it do? What would it be nice for it to do? And what would be good, but only if there was extra time? So we're going to go through this process with Cat Finder. Again, there are kind of, think of it as 3 buckets of functionality, things that you absolutely must have in your app, things that would be nice to have, and then things, if we had time, it would be great to make them. So in my case, I know that with Cat Finder, first of all, people need to be able to post the relevant details of their lost cat. Like, they absolutely have to do that. People need to be alerted to lost cats in the area. So as part of Cat Finder, imagine that I've posted details about my cat, and I need all the other people, the Good Samaritans who've downloaded Cat Finder, to be alerted. Hey, my cat's lost. Start looking for it. So I need to create that alerting mechanism in the app. People also need to be able to contact me quickly about a cat that might be mine. So for instance, one of these Good Samaritans is walking around in my zip code, knows that I have a cat that's lost, and sees a cat, and takes a picture of it, and needs to get that information back to me. That absolutely has to be in the app. So you can kind of see here with must-haves, you need to be very discriminating. You need to make sure that you're capturing the essentials and you're not necessarily letting some nice-to-haves sneak in. So let's move on to nice-to-haves. It would be great if the app had the ability to sort lost cats in an area by most recent to least recent. The sad fact is I might put my cat out there and it might not be found for a month. These Good Samaritans who are trying to find cats, they would want to sort and see which cats were most recently lost, because those are the ones that are most likely to be found. It'd be awesome if this app could generate printable signs from the same data that you're putting into the app about the cat. So once you fill it in, you hit print, and some printer prints out your posters, and that way you have more than one way to try to get the word out there. It would also be nice to have if you could remind the user to update lost cat info or take down posting. What we don't want to have happen is, my app to just fill up with a bunch of cats. we want to make sure that the data is relevant. So let's have a system of alerts. And finally, if there's time. So, you know, wouldn't it be cool if I integrated Twitter updates until my cat is found? Obviously, that's something that would be cool, but it's not essential to the app. It's not even a nice to have. It would just be if we have time. Maybe we could gamify pet finding. So, you know, there's this notion of gamification where if you make what needs to be done really interesting, more people are going to do it. So I have no idea how you would gamify cat finding, but let's just say I did, and I was very excited about it. Maybe we'd do it if there's time. So, so that's the first part of making your app real for others. We briefly touched on ideation. I went through functional specification. And in the next video, we'll talk about how to paper prototype your app. Thanks.